First thing I want to say this morning is I agree with Nick from Reventure Consulting. No, hell hasn't frozen over. Pigs are not flying. But what I will say is I believe Nick gave some wonderful advice. In the Reventure app, this was all from X or Twitter. According to the Reventure app, Nick was responding to someone who was saying, I want to wait until the spring buying market or selling market. And according to Nick and the Reventure app, he basically said that is not a great idea. What you want to do as a buyer is interact with a market that has no competition. Right now, we have increased inventory, less competition, the ability to write disrespectful offers, follow up, get rate buy downs, get seller credits, and pretty much get anything you want as a buyer. Remember, I think it was Redfin that went out and said there's 500,000 more sellers than buyers. That is the market where you will get great deals. So, at least for this comment, I want to be very clear. I think Nick from Reventure Consulting is 100% correct. And I honestly, folks, wasn't sure I would ever say that, but there we go. Well, the next thing we got to do is check out existing home sales. They just came out at 7 a.m. And of course, we go live at 7 a.m. on Thursday. I have my phone here and I have not seen the data yet. Remember, folks, it was my call months ago with Lance Lambert that I believed that the September numbers would be up year on year. And I got to tell you, I'm a wee bit nervous because, again, I will have to wear the swing and the miss shirt or be right. So let's hit the latest update and see what we get. Let's see. Existing home sales. Come on, guys. It's not that hard. Where is it? Let's search again. It's not coming up right now. Oh, you got to spell existing right first, obviously. Existing home sales. Sorry about this. I should have set this up ahead of time. Here it is. Existing home sales up 1.5% to 4.06 million. And here we go, folks. August was the bottom. I told you August was the bottom. We are up 4.1% year on year. Nailed it. Again, we'll dig into this a lot more this evening because, again, it just came out. But yes, new home sales up year on year. Should be a lot of fun catching up with Lance Lambert later today because it was him and his spreadsheet where I said we would be up year on year months ago, calling August the bottom. So again, if you're in the industry, congratulations. You just survived 3.5 years of a recession, a depression. I am not here to tell you it's going to be a V-shaped recovery. I have never said that. But, in order to get out of a hole, the first thing you got to do is stop digging. And I think August will go down as the bottom. So, I was a little nervous. on that one. So yesterday we talked about private credit, right, being the kind of new subprime era or area of the market. So I did a little bit of digging. I was trying to figure out Wall Street's exposure, right? How much is Wall Street or the big banks? Actually, it's the big banks, not Wall Street. The big banks exposed to private credit, right? Do we have a problem like 2008? Well, here we go. What I found, and again, if you have different data, feel free to put it in the comments below or send it to me on IG. But Wells Fargo is the most exposed to private credit. They have lent $60 billion. Bank of America is in second place with $33 billion. PNC, third at $30 billion. Citigroup, fourth, $26 billion. And finally, JP Morgan at $22 billion. So again, private credit certainly is the area to be concerned about. We should be concerned about any leverage on private credit, which at least at this point doesn't appear to be there. Remember, The reason that the mortgage market meltdown happened is we had not only the mortgages go bad, but then we had the CDOs and the CDOs of CDOs, and it was just a complete cluster of very poor quality loans with no equity, and then boom, everything exploded. I do want to call your attention to an important video that we went out yesterday at 4 p.m. Pacific. I want to shout out David and Morgan. David and Morgan are investing in sober living. Sober living. That was an excellent conversation. This is the second time we had that amazing couple on the channel. And I think their story is one that you should watch. Again, there's lots of ways to make money in real estate. But sober living is a way that you can not only make a lot of money, but you can also help a lot of people. So go ahead and give that a watch. I think you will be excited to see what that amazing couple is doing. We did get a lot of earnings yesterday. Tesla did beat on revenue, but missed on earnings. They did add nearly $5 billion in cash to the balance sheet. Apparently on the earnings call, Elon Musk talked AI, robotics, automation, but not really cars. He didn't really talk about cars, didn't give a forecast, anything of that nature, but was really excited about the robots. IBM beat top line, beat bottom line. Earnings per share were up 15% year on year, revenue up 9%. However, they were down quarter on quarter, down 5% quarter revenue and down 4% on earnings. SAP beat top line, bottom line, raised full guidance. Hilton beat top line, bottom line, actually added 23,000 new rooms. That's a lot of rooms. That's a lot of rooms for a quarter. Sheesh. Hilton is still expanding. Winnebago, RV maker. This one was a surprise to me. They had record profit, up 17% year on year and raised outlooks. Maybe people are buying RVs instead of homes. Maybe it is cheaper to live in an RV than homes. I don't know. I can't explain why Winnebago had such a monster and record-breaking quarter, especially because all the doomers keep telling me nobody has any money. I don't know about you, but Winnebagos are expensive. So, I don't know. Something's going on. Southwest Airlines beat on earnings and forecasted a record quarter for the current quarter. On top of that, we did get American Airlines. American Airlines highlighted that improved domestic revenue and weakening international travel. That probably makes total sense why Southwest, which is a very domestic airline, is forecasting a record quarter. Zillow, once again, upgrades their housing forecast. Remember, folks, it wasn't that long ago in April, Zillow was forecasting a negative national housing prices at negative 1.7. The doomers love to see that. Well, now Zillow has upgraded their forecast, 6 months later, to positive 1.9%. Again, these are national numbers. You should be looking in your city, your buy box, but these are national numbers. Let's congratulate people joining school. Again, folks, if you want to be around nearly 500 other wealth builders, you want to make a difference in your year. You've only got about 2 months left. Join school, or it's right there on the screen, school.com/ORaaT. So Joel and Colby, thank you for joining. And of course, don't forget, tickets are on sale for our Vegas event. Jeff, Suleika, and David, thank you for buying your tickets. And we will look forward to seeing all of you in Vegas. Reuters published an article talking about the Fed, basically said the Fed's lined up for 2 more cuts in 2025, and they have no idea what's coming in 2026. It talked about Fed funds rate not moving, meaning 0 cuts, and another side being all the way down to 2%, which would be significant cuts to the tune of 6 more. So again, 2026 is very unclear, but according to 117 economists, 115 think we've got 2 cuts coming in 2025. Bank of America is writing an article about private credit. Again, I am actively looking for data on private credit. Says that the pain in private credit could could start forced selling of stocks. And that would be if the private credit pain expands. Again, basically, if private credit goes bad, liquidity will be something that is sought after, and nothing easier than selling stocks to raise liquidity. Something I'm thinking about a lot right now is home equity and money market accounts. Why? Folks, we have record home equity and we have record money market balances. Money markets now top $7 trillion and home equity tops $35 trillion. So, folks, that's $42 trillion in relatively easy equity to go get. I suspect if rates keep falling, that humans and consumers will do what we always do. They will tap those things and go shopping. They will tap those things and go investing. That equity will not sit silent. It will start moving. The question is when. I think it's when mortgage rates get to 5.5%. We got an update on single family rents. And folks, the doomers are going to spin this one, but here's the facts. Rent growth hit the lowest level in 15 years. That is a scary headline until you finish the statement. Even though it is the lowest in 15 years, it is still up 1.4% nationally. Apartment rents, however, nationally are down 0.8%. CNBC Housing Survey says that most potential home buyers expect mortgage rates to fall, and thus they are waiting on the sidelines. On top of that, agent said 2 out of 5 sellers have pulled their listing off the market. Again, these are all things that you and I have talked about for quite a while. I guess the last thing to talk about is the Chicago Fed hiring expectations. Again, we got to watch the job markets. When the Fed says jobs and labor, we've got to watch it. Hiring expectations for the next year hit the lowest level. So again, not only are we seeing potentially more layoffs, but now we have hiring expectations falling. So again, buckle up, and there we go. And the last thing, I guess, is we are now at a record $38 trillion. Yes, with a T, folks, $38 trillion with the U.S. national debt. And of course, the government shutdown is still in effect. Folks, hope you have an amazing day. Again, don't forget, if you are a landlord, it is your responsibility to save money where you can. And given where insurance rates are, it behooves you to get quotes, multiple quotes. The person I go to is Steadily. They are the sponsor of the Daily Financial News. Olivia and I go there every time we have a policy coming up. They just saved us over $1,000 on a duplex about a month ago. They don't always. They don't always. There's been some that they don't beat, but sometimes they do, and that is important to know. And again, if you are looking to build wealth, get rich, get started, there is no better community than school/ORaaT. It is like a wealth club. You have a health club. You have all these other things. We are building a wealth club. Come join. Come check it out. 67 pennies a day. I'll see you in there. Later. Peace.